All right, in this lesson, we are going to finish up. We did multiplying fractions and mixed numbers. We're going to do division of fractions and mixed numbers. Good news is we are not actually going to do division. We're actually going to do something else. So we are actually going to multiply these things. Even though it says division, we're going to tweak them to make it so it's multiplication. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to, instead of multiplying, we are going to never divide. Instead, we will multiply by reciprocal. Okay, what is a reciprocal? That is, oh, well, here's where you may have heard it in the past. Instead of multiplying, dividing fractions together, copy, dot, flip, or flop. Copy, dot, flop, copy, dot, flip. A lot of different things. So here's what we got. So here's an example of it. So if you take 10 divided by 2, now that one's not a big deal. That one equals 5. Now it's going to be a big deal in ours. So instead of dividing, I want to multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal is just taking whatever you have and making it a fraction, if it's not a fraction already, and flipping it. That's the flip part. Okay, and so we just want to check, if we take half of 10, 10 times a half, we still get 5. So you get the exact same result. So it's much, much easier to multiply than it is to divide. So we're going to take every single one of these problems and I'm going to turn it into a multiplication problem. So 5/8, instead of dividing by 2/3, I'm going to multiply by 3/2. And then it's going to basically become exactly the same stuff that we did with all of these. So first thing I'm going to look at is 5 go into the 8 or the 2? Is there anything that goes into the 3? With the 8 and the 2, nothing. So then I just multiply it together. 15/16. All right. And then over here, just like in multiplying, we don't want to do the mixed numbers together. So instead, we are going to kind of tweak it, convert it a little bit. We're going to take this 2.5 divided by 3 1/3, and I'm going to turn that into improper fractions. So 2 times 2 plus 1 is 5/2. And then we'll worry about the multiplication part in a minute. And then this is going to be 9 times 1 or plus 1 is 10/3. All right, so then instead of division, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so we flip that, and then I'll start to simplify before I multiply. I see the 5 and the 10. I can divide a 5 out of both, so that's a 1, that's a 2. The 3 doesn't go into either of those, so you're done. Multiply your tops, multiply your bottoms, and you're done. All right, and then same type of thing here is just another version of this. So I have 5 times 8 is 40 plus 3 is 43/8. And then I want to divide by a fraction, so I can flip it. So there's me making 3 into a fraction. And then I will turn that into 43/8 times the reciprocal, 1/3. And then 43 is not going to be divisible by 3. We talked about the divisibility of 3 is if you add the digits together. If it's a multiple of 3, then like if 3 goes into the sum of this, then 3 is going to go into the original. But this adds up to 7. 3 doesn't go into 7, so 3 is not going to go into 43. So that means we're not going to be able to simplify anything. So it's 43 divided by 24. And again, it goes back to, this is probably not how I'm leaving my final answer, because I started with a mixed number. I'm going to probably need to finish with a mixed number. So I'm looking at how many times does 24 go into 43? And it's 1 time, and then who knows? So we know it's going to go into it 1 time. And then I just need to divide, not divide, I need to subtract out 124 out of it. And we get a remainder of 19. So it's 1 and 19/24. All right, last problem is I always kind of I don't love it when a problem is written this way. So I'm going to start with just kind of rewriting it as 6 3/8 divided by 4 1/2. I'm going to make it look like this. So once I do that, I know exactly where I need to go. I'm going to do the exact same math and process that I did here. So this is going to be 6 times 8 is 48 plus 3, 51/8 divided by 8, 9 over 2. And then we start to, instead of dividing, we multiply by the reciprocal, copy dot flip. So 51/8 times 2/9, and then we can try to simplify. All right, so 2 and the 8 is a good one. I can take a 2 out of both of these, so that'll get us a 1 and a 4. Another thing that goes into 9 is 3, and 3 actually goes into 51. I don't know how many times, but I know it does because 5 plus 1 is 6. 3 goes into 6, so I know I can divide a 3 out of it. I'll use calculator to see what I get out of that. So 3 goes into 9 3 times, and then 51 divided by 3 is 17 times. So we get 17 out of that. All right, nothing else can go into each other from the top and the bottom. So multiply this together, we're getting a 17 over 12. And then one last thing, started as a mixed number, we're going to finish it as a mixed number. So we have 12 goes into 17 one time, and if I subtract it, I'll have 5 left over. Okay, and that was dividing fractions and mixed numbers.